Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book by Robert Kiyosaki that revolves around the different views provided by two dads, one well educated and the other one that never finished school, but they both earned substantial incomes, yet only one struggled financially. The problem was that while giving the advice, both were just starting out in their careers. The rich one wasn't rich yet and the poor one wasn't poor yet either. So the author made his choices only after thinking about the advice they gave, comparing the advice and picking what he thought was the best option. In this video, we will go through the key ideas and takeaways from the book, but before we do, feel free to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more personal finance and investing related content and weekly book summaries. Takeaway number 1. Rich don't work for money. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. People too often ask for a job and a paycheck, but never learn how to actually make money, so they live their life simply working for money without really understanding it. They blame their employer or the government for their financial situation instead of themselves and are certain that they're right. The problem of blaming somebody else for something is that you have to change them in order to fix it. But if you accept yourself as the problem, you can change yourself and grow wiser to fix the problem. It's easier to change yourself than everyone else. Most people given more money will only end up going into more debt. A better income cannot fix their financial problems, only financial education can. Instead of relying on a company or the government to provide you a good income and benefits, you can learn how to make your money work for you. Learning how to make money work for you is a lifetime study. But most people are not interested in learning about money, so they go to school and learn how to work for money instead. This makes it so they can never stop working for money or they'll end up losing it. What a trap. Now, this is further combined with our natural desires. It's very natural to desire for more and better, so people often buy more and better to bring them joy. But that joy is often short-lived, and they soon end up needing to buy even more, which means they need to work even more and even harder. So it goes on and on while they extend their means to meet their incomes, or even go over their incomes. This creates fear, cause losing their job means losing their income, and losing their income means that they'll lose everything they've been able to afford with it. Adding more money here only adds more fear instead of eliminating it. Avoiding money altogether is even worse though. However, if you can master the power of money, you won't be afraid of it, and the money it makes will give you security. If you don't learn this, you'll become a slave to money, and if you make a lot of money, you'll only be a high-paid slave. Takeaway number 2. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. We've all heard of the lottery winners and professional athletes who were poor, then suddenly rich, and very soon poor again. If you want to be rich, you must be financially literate. You must learn the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. This alone is often all you need to get rich. It's that simple. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. If you want to be rich, all you need to do is spend your life buying assets, and if you want to be in the middle class or poor, spend your life buying liabilities. Home is not an asset, since it takes money out of your pocket and is not guaranteed to go up in value. This is not pointed out to make you not want to buy a home. The point is realizing the difference between assets and liabilities. If you want to buy a bigger home for you and your family to enjoy, then first buy the assets that can generate the cash flow that can pay for it. Buying income-producing assets is the best way to get started on a path to becoming rich. Keep your expenses low so you can put even more money in your asset column and make your liability column as small as possible. Employees make the company owners and shareholders rich, not themselves. They also provide to the government as they are in the least favorable tax bracket. They often also work for the bank as they pay off their mortgage and credit card debt. Simply working harder instead of smarter makes all three make even more money off of an employee. The best way to break free from this is to use the money you earn as an employee to acquire income-producing assets. The only accurate way to measure how rich you are is by determining how long you can live without working. When your cash flow from your investments exceeds your expenses, you will become completely financially independent. You can speed up the process by reinvesting the cash flow back into your asset column along the way up. Takeaway number 3. Mind your own business. The rich focus on their asset column instead of just hoping for a better income. Financial struggles are often the result of the fact that people work all their lives for someone else instead of themselves. Your profession is just your profession, not necessarily your business. Your business is what you do and build that makes you rich. Most often is completely unrelated to your job. Work hard at your job, but mind your own business if you want to become wealthy. Don't spend your life minding someone else's business and making them rich. If you want to be financially independent, you must mind your own business, and it revolves around your asset column, not your income. Focus on acquiring assets instead of chasing a higher paycheck. The only way a better income will help your financial situation is if you use it to purchase income-producing assets that will let you have something to fall back on and give you security even in the time of financial crises. Real assets fall among one of the following categories. Businesses that don't require your presence. If you have to work there, then it's not a business, it's a job. Stocks, bonds, income-generating real estate, notes, IOUs, intellectual property that generates royalties, and anything else that produces income or appreciates in value and has a ready market. You can think of it this way. Once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. So keep your day job, but mind your own business by building your asset column. Another important difference between the rich and the poor and middle class is that the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first to look rich, instead of minding their own business. The rich build their asset class first and then use the income it generates to buy luxuries. Takeaway number 4. Financial intelligence. The rich study tax laws very diligently and use corporations to legally pay less in taxes so they can use the additional money to grow their asset column faster. On the other hand, ordinary income is often taxed more heavily than any other kind of income, and there are usually no loopholes you can use to pay less in taxes on it. Corporations let their owners pay less in taxes as they can use pre-tax dollars to make purchases, and they legally won't have to pay taxes on the money that they spent. In other words, company owners first make money, second spend some, and third pay taxes on what's left. While others first make money, second pay taxes, and third can spend what's left. Corporations are on top of that a great additional layer of protection for your assets. The 4 pillars of financial intelligence are accounting, financial literacy, investing, science of money making money, understanding markets, emotion-driven supply and demand, the law, tax advantages and protection from lawsuits. The most powerful asset we all have is our mind, and if we train it properly, it can create wealth basically out of nothing. But it can also create great poverty and crush us if it's untrained. We live in an age where information is incredibly easy to obtain, so there's no reason for anyone willing to learn to be left behind. There are 3 main skills that professional investors need to develop: finding opportunities that others miss, raising money, and organizing smart people. Takeaway number 5. Work to learn, don't work for money. Young people can benefit a lot more from seeking work for what they'll learn rather than what they'll earn. Working at specific roles can teach you very valuable skills such as marketing, PR, sales, managing people, public speaking, and many more that often require experience much more than book knowledge. Sacrificing a bit of money in the form of pay cut by switching into a different career to learn a new valuable skill can pay for itself many times over in the long run. So try looking down the road and see what skills you might want to acquire before choosing a specific profession that you might want to stay in long term. A good alternative to this is also taking a second job that will teach you an additional skill. Remember that education is more valuable than money in the long run, and if you are not used to changing, it's going to be even harder to change later. The world is full of smart, intelligent people who are very poor. And they are not poor because they lack skills, but because they often focus too hard on developing skills that they have no idea how to market and sell. Oftentimes, all they need is to add one more skill to their arsenal to make their income skyrocket. If you do find something you really enjoy doing and end up highly specializing for it, try looking for a job that has a good labor union. Dedicating your life to learning a skill that is valuable to only one industry can put you at high risk if you lose access to that industry. The more specialized you become, the more you are trapped and embedded on that specialty, and that's why a good protection in case of such events is very important. The main management skills needed for success are management of cash flow, management of systems, and management of people. The most important specialized skills are sales and marketing. Speaking and negotiating are also crucial for success. Try expanding your knowledge on all of these skills. Takeaway number 6. Overcoming obstacles. There are 5 huge obstacles that financially literate people may still face that will make them unable to build their asset columns and become financially independent. Fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Overcoming fear. Nobody likes losing money. Many rich people have lost money before, but also many poor people have never lost any money. Everyone has fear. But how you handle and manage it is the key. Start investing as soon as you can, and the experience you gain along the way will let you overcome the fear. Failure will only make you stronger and smarter. Overcoming cynicism. The cynic is really a little chicken that's afraid of the noise either in their own head or coming from their friends, colleagues, family, or the media. Just let me remind you that every good investor knows that the worst of times is actually the best of times to make money. Don't let the little chicken win and lose the chance of freedom. Overcoming laziness. Too many people are quote-unquote too busy and work really hard at their work simply because it's a way for them to avoid something that they don't want to face. But many others also occupy themselves with fun activities just to avoid something important. Use your desire for freedom to overcome the laziness. Imagine what would your life be if you actually took action, and you will realize that it's worth it, and then just follow the desire. Overcoming bad habits. Our lives reflect our habits much more than our education. You can always build new habits, including money habits like paying yourself first, for example. Overcoming arrogance. What you know will make you money. What you don't know is likely to lose you money. Many people use arrogance to try and hide their ignorance. Educate yourself if you're one of them. Takeaway number 7. Tips on getting started. Find a reason greater than reality. If you have no good reason, nothing else matters. Make daily choices. Making good habits will keep you on track. Invest in education. The knowledge you gain will give you a jump start and also help you tremendously in the long run. New ideas will synergize with your existing knowledge. Choose friends carefully. Socialize with people who have the same goals as you and who will help you improve instead of pulling you down with their "the sky's falling" stories. Master a formula and then learn a new one. You become what you study, so be careful what you learn. If all you learn about is working for money, you will work for money your entire life. If you study how to be financially independent, you are likely to achieve that. Feel free to jump onto something new once you do achieve it. Pay yourself first. The lack of self-discipline can cost you greatly, and this is difficult to master if you have not made it your habit already, but it's absolutely necessary for you to master it. Don't get into consumer debt. Keep your expenses as low as possible and look for creative ways to cover liabilities without selling your assets or dipping into savings. Pay your brokers well. Pay professionals well, because if they're actually good, their services will make you more money. They can also provide you with valuable information that can pay for itself many times over and save you time on top of that. Make sure your broker is not just a salesman though. Find somebody who has your best interest at heart. Be an Indian giver. Look for a good return on investment and pull your money out once you realize the gains you were after, so you can invest it somewhere else. Also try to look for something that will remain there for basically free once you pull your principal out of the investment. Use assets to buy luxuries. Don't use your income to buy luxuries. First build your asset column and then use the cash flow it generates to buy luxuries. In other words, have your money or somebody else, for example your tenants, buy them for you. Choose heroes. Copying or imitating your heroes and thus learning from them is a great way to gain amazing points of view and learn valuable knowledge that will help you achieve your goals. Heroes also make it look easy, thus inspiring us to start and keep going. Teach and you shall receive. It's very important to be charitable and giving. Give away both money and education, and both will find their way back to you. Give what you want first, and it will come back in buckets. To summarize, The rich don't work for money. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have their money work for them. If you can master the power of money, you will not be afraid of it, and the money it makes for you will give you security. If you don't learn this, you will become a slave to money, and making a lot of money will only make you a high-paid slave. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Rich people acquire assets. The poor and the middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. If you want to be rich, all you need to do is spend your life buying assets, and if you want to be in the middle class or poor, spend your life buying liabilities. Mind your own business. Your job is most often not your business. Don't spend your life minding someone else's business and making them rich. If you want to be financially independent, you must mind your own business, and it revolves around your asset column, not your income. Financial intelligence. The 4 pillars of financial intelligence are accounting or financial literacy, investing or science of money making money, understanding markets or emotion-driven supply and demand, and the law or tax advantages and protection from lawsuits. Work to learn. Don't work for money. Sacrificing a bit of money in the form of pay cut by switching into a different career to learn a new valuable skill can pay for itself multiple times over in the long run. Overcoming obstacles. There are 5 great obstacles that financially literate person may still face that will make them unable to build their asset columns and become financially independent. Those are fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Tips on getting started. Find a reason greater than reality. Make daily choices. Invest in education. Choose friends carefully. Master a formula and then learn a new one. Pay yourself first. Don't get into consumer debt. Pay your brokers well. Be an Indian giver. Use assets to buy luxuries. Choose heroes. Teach and you shall receive. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was useful to you. As a final note, let me just clarify that this is a summary of a book. It is not investment advice. You should always do your own due diligence before investing, and it's your money, and you and only you are responsible for the consequences of your own actions. With that out of the way, there's one new book summary out every week, and much more investing and motivation related content is on the way, so feel free to subscribe for more content, ring the notification bell, leave a like on the video so more people can actually see it, and share it with a friend if you think it would help them. I'll see you next week, so enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye!